starting this play, I thought about what the main conflict of the piece was going to be, and what kind of a person would be faced with that conflict. So the character, in a way, sort of grew out of the conflict. And the first thing I did, actually, was just sit down and start typing, and I just started listening to, I guess trying to put myself in someone else's shoes, trying to think about what this person would say in this situation. So it was really listening.
You can't even begin to think about your plot until you know who your characters are or where they're going, or even if you just start writing and then see what the characters are trying to do, see what they're saying, I didn't have a plot when I wrote the first scene I wrote. And then I figured out the characters, figured out what they were doing, and then I basically rewrote everything from where I'd started to where the plot was going.
The first thing that I looked at was, I looked at friends that I had, because it's easy to write about people that you know and people that you're familiar with. And I guess for the main character, I looked a lot at myself. I think the main character is very much part of who I am and comes from a big part of myself. And the characters grew out of the situations, but also the relationships. In particular, the two main characters kind of grew out of a relationship that I had once.
That I'm writing. What I discover by the end, something's not working. Something's just not fitting. And usually it's because I discover, I'm like, there are plot holes. It's because the characters have absolutely no motivation for what they're doing. I'm just making them do things. And that's when I realize, oh, okay, I need to flesh out these characters. Like, I don't even know who his mom is, you know? Or I don't even know, why is he doing this? So that's a lot of it, too, is that one play I entirely wrote, and I told it to a friend, and she's like, there's so many plot holes. And I thought about it. Like, she kept asking, well, why did he do this? Why did he do this? And I realized that what was missing was these characters had no desire, no motivation, no character. They had no personality to make them do the things that they do.
For my play, you need characters that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Strange?
Quirky?
Quirky. There's the word.
Quirky.
They're quirky. They need to work together. You need characters with flaws that are comedic. Characters that do crazy things that take them into crazier and crazier situations. Especially for the actors off stage. I wanted definitely some that were problematic and were causing troubles for everybody.
Well, I really like Leonard. He's the main character. I think he's a very likable person, but he's kind of scatterbrained, and he definitely has his faults, but I think we love him in spite of them. And then Gwen, his girlfriend, is also a very noble character, I think, and she's very self-sacrificing.
My favorite character would probably be Rhonda / Rachel.
Yeah.
She's the sympathetic, happy, cute, quirky one on the show, and off the show, she's the wench who everybody hates.
So you just like that irony?
She's the one who causes all the problems. Okay. Basically, without her, there would be no trouble backstage. No big trouble, nothing huge going on.
I think it's fun when you're creating characters because you can add traits that you'd like to add, or subtract things that you wouldn't like put in there, or just mold things like Play-Doh. When it comes to exposition, I think there's a fine line between giving too much away and not letting the audience know enough about what's going on. I think as human beings, we're very naturally curious as to what's going on between people. And so when you step into a conversation, you're instantly pulled in if you hear just enough so that you know kind of what the tension's about, but maybe not the specifics or how it's going to resolve. And so I think that's really key when it comes to writing dialogue, to keeping the audience interested.
Basically, I'm myself, you know, but it's my conversion story. It's like how I came to learn about God, about those things. But I had to take it and try to make it into thoughts. Like, this is what I'm thinking, this is how I looked at it, this is the process I went through. But also, you know, to make it not completely wordy, to make it, every word count, like every sentence have like a potency to it, a power to it. And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to make sure that I can say what I want and hopefully I'm saying everything that needs to be said to explain so that people will get an image of that. To reach higher plane, I changed that. I did a lot of meditation seeking to reach higher planes, gain control over my thoughts. It was a personal journey. One did not require a God. I hoped of reaching nirvana, a state of oneness. Oneness of what? I never thought. Just
that I've based on real people or real experiences because I like drawing from reality. I draw a lot from reality because it resonates with me. They have been the characters that have been the most criticized. They've been the ones that are like, this isn't really real. No one would really say that. And I've taken it verbatim, or I've taken it. I mean, these are really real complex people, and I think maybe it's because in order to make it fictionalized, we have to simplify things. It's ironic because we have to dumb things down to make it feel more depth. But I've found that with every single character that's based on something real, you can't leave things vague. You can't. They in some ways have to be. The complexities have to be brought down because you only have this much time, and so you literally just have to pick a little snippet of life. But it's a bummer for me because I'm always like, I'll bring a script that I don't tell people this is real, like this is based on real life, these are real words, and it doesn't translate to the stage. It's interesting. So I end up having to create a fictionalized character for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.